Folks, I'm at this cool NASA booth, and this gentleman is, what's your name?
I'm Trey, Kate,
Trey?
C-A-T-E, yep. I work on the Space Launch System for NASA.
Wait. Hold on a second. High five.
Yeah.
This man's got a cool job.
It actually is a very cool job. It's a lot of fun. My job is to tell people about the Space Launch System.
Sure.
Let them know what we're doing to expand human presence throughout the galaxy.
And I'd like to know that because as a person who obviously is kind of tagged in the appropriate way,
yes.
you know. Thank you. What is? Where are we with this system? And also, can you also talk about the Orion project as well?
Absolutely, it's part of our program.
Cool.
So if you want to look at the rocket,
Sure.
I'll show you here the solid rocket boosters. We've already fired these 3 times. We have one more firing in June. The RS-25 engines, we've already tested them down at the
In
very bottom.
Arizona, right?
Those were done in Mississippi.
Mississippi, okay.
These were fired in Utah.
Okay.
Orion, we've already flown around the Earth 3 times.
Wow.
This part right now is currently under construction in Mississippi. In New Orleans, just outside New Orleans. It's called the core stage.
Core stage, right? What's the core stage?
Basically, the gas tank.
The gas tank,
Yes.
Gotcha.
Wow. And once we get that built, which will be in the next 6 months, we'll bring it to Marshall Space Flight Center. We'll try to crush it, bend it, turn it, make sure it's structurally sound.
Try to break
fly.
it, basically.
Make sure it's safe. And then within 18 months, this will be at the pad at Cape Canaveral, ready to fly.
This will be at the pad, ready to fly, 18 months. Almost
Now, the real one, though, is 50 times this size.
Well, right. I know
is
this,
the 1 to
right. I
50,
figured
1
as
to
much.
50. So it's taller than the Statue of Liberty.
How far are we from putting a person on Mars?
Probably 12 to 15 years.
Wow.
Now, the hard part is living and working in space. The human body's not made for that.
Are we?
About half our astronauts come back half blind.
Whoa, really?
And that's from the space station, which is only 200
right,
miles away.
Because that's going to be because I follow the NASA channel, and I always wondered about what happens.
There's a multitude of other problems. Bone loss is the big one. They lose bone loss at the rate of 3 times the postmenopausal lady every month. There's problems with their back when they come back to Earth, because everything's stretched out from microgravity. Your head grows. There's all sorts of things about living and working.
Does that mean you're looking for people that have big heads already like me? I mean, look at that. See that?
But, there's a lot of challenges that we're overcoming by having people on the space station.
I'm curious. It would seem to lead to discoveries in nutrition, maybe?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, every day. Right now we've got the twins.
Sure.
So Kelly's one up in space who's going to be there for a full year, and he's being tested almost daily with all his blood and everything coming back.
How's he doing?
He's doing great.
Yeah.
But his brother's the control who's at home here.
Yeah.
So a year's worth of data will help us let us figure out those problems.
Let me ask a question that never occurred to me as a guy who works out at a gym.
Yeah.
Is there a gym up there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. In the early stages of the internet, we've been in space for 13 years continuously.
Right.
In the early stages, we were exercising so much to stay alive that we weren't doing any science.
Gotcha.
Now we've progressed with the technologies of how to exercise and how to preserve the muscle mass and all that we're doing 80% more science now and exercising less because we're doing it more efficient.
Let me ask another question that takes me back to something called the L5, and it was the L5 space station concept in the 70s and the L5 Society. And I asked that because it was a rotation that would create artificial gravity.
Right.
Has anyone discussed producing something like that to deal with the problems you're talking about?
Yeah, there's many going to Mars is going to be hard. There's many design reference missions out there. You can go to nasa.gov and download them. It's a manual this big. It tells you step by step. But in layman's term, one of them is take everything you need up, put it on the backside of the moon. Take about 9 lifts of this rocket to do it. Take all that up, put it on the backside of the moon. Take the astronauts up, put it together, point it toward Mars,
and sing it off there.
Push it, and then spin it.
Right.
So that's one of the possibilities. I mean, there's a lot of things that can go, but that's one.
That's a very logical, simple solution.
But it's still very hard. It's a long way.
Wow.
And what we're doing now, we're still Earth independent because we can get home very quickly. This will allow us to go out to the proving grounds which is beyond the moon, cislunar space, and learn how to do the hard stuff in that bad radiation and different atmosphere. And then once we've mastered that, then we're ready to be Earth independent, and that's when we go to Mars.
Is it harder to get the media to cover this stuff? Because I think there are people who'd rather hear about this than Donald Trump.
I think, and I've been with the program from the start. And when I first started, I'd say 75% of the people like you at shows would come up and go, "NASA's still in business?" And honest to God, it's because they thought when the shuttle went away, NASA went away.
Wow.
But now it's switched. Now we're getting much more support from folks, the comic folks coming through. And I think we're generating, the movie The Martian, Interstellar.
I would imagine it helped. Right.
And then just what NASA's done over the last year. New Horizons, Pluto, Ceres. I mean, it's some pretty cool stuff.
I agree.
Flowing water on Mars. Hello. So the agency, we're doing a lot. And in addition to building this at the same time. So there's a lot going on, and I think folks are catching on.
It's exciting stuff. Hey, thanks a lot.
Oh, you're welcome, man.
Yeah, you got
Good
it,
talk to you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
Let's see a picture from Florida.